Hello, everyone. Welcome to Awakening Heart, community of mindful living. Um, I hope that you all received them. We had some last minute adjustments to make, so um, we're gonna we're gonna just hang out here for a few minutes and make sure other people are able to join us. And so, if you would, just so that we know you are tuned in, if you could type your name in the chat box, and maybe while you're at it, what are you grateful for today, or how are you feeling today? Something, just a word or two. Um, so I'll just kind of chat for a minute. Things are very quiet at my house. All of us are well, my husband, my mother. Um, and so yesterday, mother and I had had enough of watching TV or the computers. And so I got some really old games down from the attic. And we didn't find anything we really wanted to play. But my mother grew up in the era of dominoes and cards. And so we got the dominoes and cards out and we played cards. We played one kind of domino game. And then we tackled something called bananagram, where you create almost like your own crossword puzzle. So, anyway, we spent a good 2 hours just playing, and it was a lot of fun. It was more fun than binging on TV for us. So maybe you've been doing something fun like that. So I'm glad to see that Lisa is here. And she says, I hope you're doing well. Well, I think I just answered that. Stephanie's here, and she says she's grateful for this day to rest and recoup. Catherine Irvin is here. She says, I'm grateful for an afternoon Zoom call with my family. Great. Jessica um, and Luis, grateful for all the meals I've had with my family and realized how important it is. Yes, I've been doing a lot more cooking too, and it's actually better than going out all the time. Um, so Stephanie amended what she wrote and says she's resting and recovering from work. Jeremiah just sent us a big heart. Thank you. And Heather says, I'm grateful for equanimity. Donnie is grateful for healing, helping others who are suffering. Thank you all for sharing. That is so nice. It's good to hear from you. Usually we would be going around the circle. This is kind of like passing the virtual zone. So I'm glad to hear from you. So I guess now that we've kind of settled in, we could invite the bell and begin with our opening affirmation. So let's listen to 3 sounds of the bell. So once again, welcome everybody. We're going to do our opening affirmation. Um, I seem to have lost the piece of paper that I was supposed to use. So I'm going to just read from our program. And if you remember, Um, the the part that was written in bold, you can say it um, and join in that way. So, noble community, we gather here now to honor the way of peace and nonviolence, the way of wisdom and compassion, the way of joy and beauty. In solidarity with one another, with all humanity, and with all life on earth. Friends on the path, we gather here now to deepen our solidity like a mountain and to renew our freshness like a flower. Through mindful sitting and walking, mindful singing and breathing, and mindful speaking and listening. Sisters and brothers of awakening, we gather here now to celebrate the one infinite light that shines through many religions, many cultures, many teachers, to practice the teachings of our ancestral teachers, including Siddhartha Gautama, the Shakyamuni Buddha, and of our contemporary teachers, including Thich Nhat Hanh, and to affirm our faith in the capacity within ourselves and all persons, both men and women of every race, orientation, and class, to realize full and complete enlightenment. So I noticed that Ashley has checked in and is grateful for her mother. I am grateful for my mother too. So as you continue to check in, we'll keep looking at the chat and acknowledge who's here. We're going to, um, um, I would like us to do the Medicine Buddha chant. We've been doing that for the past few weeks, and I think it's just really helpful not only for us, but when we keep in mind all of the people around the world that are suffering, that need our compassion and our help, so we can do the Medicine Buddha chant together. I'm going to pass this over to somebody else. Remember, it starts Om Namo Bhagavate by Shaje Guru. Om Namo Bhagavate by Shaje Guru by Durya Pravarashaya Tathagataya Arhate Samyak Sambuddhaya Tadyata Om Vaishashe Vaishashe Maha Vaishashe Raja Samukate Swaha Om Namo Bhagavate Vaishasha Guru Vaidurya Pravarashaya Tathagataya Arhate Samyak Sambuddhaya Tadyata Om Vaishashe Vaishashe Maha Vaishashe Raja Samukate Swaha Om Namo Bhagavate Vaishasha Guru Vaidurya Pravarashaya Tathagataya Arhate Samyak Sambuddhaya Tadyata Om Vaishashe Vaishashe Maha Vaishashe Raja Samukate Swaha. Thank you. I could imagine hearing you. I liked it. Very nice. So, because we are not assembled together, we've been not doing walking meditation, but I would suggest that maybe after we conclude, um, and that means after the Zoom chat, after everything, maybe you could do a little walking meditation, even if it's in your house, just going from one room to another very mindfully. That's walking meditation. And I also found, for me at least, at home, I am I'm noticing that I'm not rushing. I've slowed down, and that's a good thing. So when I'm going more slowly, I can actually be more mindful, and maybe you're noticing that as well. So this is another opportunity to begin to deepen our practice and and use the things we know that work to keep ourselves strong and solid in our practice and calm, so that when we are with others, even in stressful situations like the grocery store, we don't lose our composure, we don't lose our mindfulness. So I want to welcome Barbara and Jennifer Landon to the practice. Barbara is grateful for connecting online with a dear childhood friend. And Jennifer says she's grateful for the practice. So thank you for everyone. Billy joined us as well and said he's grateful for the Sangha and technology. Yes, indeed. Oh, and also Billy gave us the words for the Medicine Buddha chant. So thank you, Billy. Um, so let's get ready for our guided meditation. This meditation I call present moment awareness. And I'm going to invite you now to just find your comfortable place, whether it's sitting on a cushion or in a chair, lying down, wherever it is. And I'm going to offer just a brief meditation that can help us relieve some of the stress and anxiety that we might be experiencing. And so this meditation will focus on the two things that are always present with us: the breath and the body. You've probably heard me say this many, many times, but when we can bring awareness to breath or body, we are able to be fully present in each moment. Present moment awareness frees us from the past, where regrets and anger and judgments reside. And present moment awareness frees us from the future, where worry and anxieties live. In the present moment, we can make better choices, be good listeners, and connect with our inner wisdom. So, we want our backs to be straight but not stiff or rigid. If you like, you can put your hands in your lap or on your feet, on your legs. If you're sitting in a chair, remember to put your feet on the floor so that your legs are not crossed. And now just let your eyelids gently close over your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Just notice the breath. You might like to put your hand on your chest or your abdomen so that you can feel your body's response to the breath. See if you can just watch your body breathe, not trying to control the breath, just observing. After all, your body was doing a good job of breathing before you started to pay attention to it. So just take the perspective of observer and watch your body breathe. Can you feel the air as it enters your nose and feel your lungs fill and expand? Can you feel the release of air as your lungs relax and air flows out of your nose? Do you notice that little pause when the inhale becomes the exhale? And the pause when the exhale gives way to the inhale? It doesn't matter if your breath is shallow or deep, just watch. You may notice that your breath is slowing a bit or getting deeper. Whatever you observe is okay. We're just watching the body breathe. Breathing in and breathing out in a relaxed, comforting rhythm. If you notice that your mind has drifted and you're thinking about something other than my words or other than your breath, just come back to your breath. No judgment, no consequence. Just come back to the breath, back to the present moment. You can also imagine that your mind is like a clear blue sky with clouds that appear and drift by. When thoughts do arise, just put them in the cloud and let them drift away and come back to the breath. Sounds and body sensations can also drift away on a cloud. Always coming back to the breath and the clear, open sky mind. Now let's softly turn your observer's attention to the body. Just scan your body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, noticing any tension or discomfort. Is there tension in your face? Can you let go of any tension in your face? Let go of your whole face, all the muscles, let everything soften and relax. Let a little smile form on your lips and feel your face relax even more. Let your shoulders drop with your next exhale and linger there for another breath if you like, releasing any burdens you've been carrying. Feeling the stress melt away with each exhale, breathing in ease, breathing out tension. And now let your attention gently move to your back and your hips. With each exhale, allow your back and your hips to relax. Breathing in ease, breathing out tension. Let any tension, any tightness fall away from your legs, ankles, feet, and toes, resting in the comfort of the rhythm of your breath. Just breathing in ease and breathing out tension. With body and breath relaxed and refreshed, the mind is also refreshed, present, and attentive. Take the next few minutes to just rest in this place of present moment ease and awareness. Simply being present with whatever arises, sounds, thoughts, whatever comes up, just as it is, just as it unfolds. As you listen to two sounds of the bell, see if you can stay with the sound of the bell until it completely disappears. This is a great way to transition from the meditation to the rest of your evening. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and join me for our metta meditation song. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. May all beings be free. May all beings be joyful. May all beings be joyful. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be at peace. Brahma Vihara Maitri. Brahma Vihara Maitri. Brahma Vihara Karuna. Brahma Vihara Karuna. Brahma Vihara Mudita. Brahma Vihara Mudita. Brahma Vihara Upeksha. Brahma Vihara Upeksha. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. May all beings be free. May all beings be joyful. May all beings be joyful. May all beings be at peace. 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 Let's take a moment to kind of just continue to breathe in that place of ease and comfort. You don't want to do anything now to bring stress back into the situation. So, yeah, just let's stay calm. Let's stay relaxed. This is the part of our service when we typically do the chant to the three jewels. And so instead of chanting until we can get together again in person, we're just going to recite. And so I will say the first part, and then you can repeat that at home if you like, or just kind of let it soak in. We're going to pay homage to the Buddha, all of the spiritual teachers who have guided us over all these years. We're going to pay homage to the Dharma, which is the teachings of all those wonderful spiritual teachers. And we're going to pay homage to the Sangha, which is the community of people who practice those teachings. So let's begin. I will say something and you can repeat after me if you like. We take refuge in the Buddha and spiritual teachings, that which shows us the way in this life. We take refuge in the Buddha and spiritual teachers, that which shows us the way in this life. We take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and of love. We take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and of love. We take refuge in the Sangha, the community that lives in harmony and awareness. We take refuge in the Sangha, the community that lives in harmony and awareness. So let me transition from one piece of paper to another. Our theme for this month, the month of April, is present together. And I know that may seem odd because I'm talking about being present and we're not all physically present together, but we are definitely present together. And we're learning how to be present together in a lot of different and still very interesting and helpful ways. So, as I was thinking about this theme, present together, I was kind of struck with the understanding that everything this year and last year are about some way of being, a reminder that we are human beings, not human doings. So last year, the theme was going as a river. This year, joyfully together. And so far this year, we have been joyfully together, lovingly together, and safely together. So this month, we'll talk about being present together, present with ourselves and present with others. Everything is together in the present moment, an expression of the fact that everything is interrelated, which is the reality of interbeing. So I've been looking through my collection of quotes that inspire me and some haiku that I've written over the years. I'd like to share some of those with you and begin with a quote from our teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh. This quote is from his book, No Death, No Fear. It seems quite relevant to me in this time that we're experiencing. He said, we have to wake up to the fact that everything is connected to everything else. Our safety and well-being cannot be individual matters anymore. If they are not safe, there is no way that we can be safe. Taking care of other people's safety is taking care of our own safety. To take care of their well-being is to take care of our own well-being. It is the mind of discrimination and separation that is at the foundation of all violence and hate. So we've seen some of that, but I think we've seen more, or at least my experience has been, that I'm seeing more of, I'm seeing more that people are taking care, um, recognizing that individual safety depends on the collective safety, and individual well being depends on the collective well being. So it seems to me that um, the notions of discrimination and separation are kind of being shown up to be the detrimental forces that they really are. And I think people are beginning to recognize that it's much, much better for us to be aware of and caring for one another. It reminds me of this latest recommendation from the CDC, the Center for Center for Disease Control, about wearing masks when we're out in public. And that's exactly, I think, what Ty's talking about. We take care of everyone's safety when we are present to the circumstances of the current situation. My well being and your well being are not separate, never have been. We have always been connected with life, with all life on earth. And my hope is that more and more people are awakening to that reality. This is a quote from Eckhart Tolle, who speaks to that very thing. And he said, "If you do not awaken when you are faced with adversity, you suffer." So this is like an opportunity to awaken so that we don't suffer. There's probably a lot more to be said about that, but I think I'm just going to leave that for you to think about. If you do not awaken when you're faced with adversity, you suffer. So I guess I might say one thing is, if you recognize that you're suffering, is it because you haven't awakened to something that's feeling to you like an adversity? Another thing that came to my mind, it's an old saying, this moment is a gift. That's why we call it the present. So every moment is a gift. And when we are really present, we see the gift. We recognize the gift. It is in this present moment that we have access to inspiration and wisdom. Present moment awareness gives rise to intention, which leads to doing that is beneficial to everyone. And that is exactly what the Buddha taught in the Noble Eightfold Path. In his book, Nothing to It, Brother Phap Hai shares what I think is his very insightful and interesting view of the Noble Eightfold Path. The first aspect of the path is right understanding. Now, here's what he says about that. Had to get my book. He says, everything begins with understanding clearly, which is the first of the Noble Eightfold Path, the path of right understanding. Everything begins with understanding clearly. This is very subtle. Throughout our whole life, our understanding and knowledge will be growing and changing. The understanding that we have at this moment in time is not the complete absolute truth. Understanding is not something static. It's always growing and changing if we allow it to. And then he talks about something that Ty shared in 1997. He said to the monastics, if we're doing the same thing in 20 years that we're doing today, then we've failed. So, in the same way that the understanding we have today will not be the same as we have tomorrow, it will be different if we're growing and we're developing on the path. Now, this can be a little scary for some of us, since to grow in right understanding means to be willing to let go of our views, our comfortable places, and to step forward constantly into new territory. So, right understanding is only accessible in the present moment. And in the Noble Eightfold Path, I'm getting my consonants mixed up. In the Noble Eightfold Path, right understanding leads into the second aspect of the path, which is right intention. So we can see that the path begins with a state of being and naturally leads into the doing aspects of the path, which are right speech, right action, right livelihood, and right effort. It all begins with being. Doing flows out of that. As Brother Phop Hai says, right understanding is not static. It is ever changing. So we have to be willing to let go of our views, our comfortable places, and step forward constantly into new territory. In the same way, right intention is not static. It may appear to be static. For instance, we may have a long-standing intention to be loving, but what continues to change is what we do in response to that intention. The intention may stay the same, but the doing will adapt to current circumstances. I think we can see that playing out now as we are learning to convey our love and compassion in ways that may be very different than what we've done before. This teaching, the Eightfold Path, the interrelatedness of everything, says to me that my actions always arise as a result of my state of being. And that ties really beautifully to the teaching on store consciousness. Am I feeding the seeds of being that will manifest beneficial fruits? Or seeds of being that will manifest harm to myself and others? Am I nurturing the seeds of being present, being loving, being compassionate, being happy? Or am I feeding the seeds of being afraid, being greedy, being self-righteous? It's easy, I think, to see that my way of being is directly linked to whatever manifests in my life. Which reminds me of a famous quote, or one that I think is famous because I have it framed on my desk. The Buddha said, when conditions are sufficient, things manifest. When conditions are not sufficient, things do not manifest. When things do not manifest, they are waiting for conditions to be sufficient. So if my life is not manifesting the things that I would like it to, if I'm not manifesting joy and love and compassion in my life, then I look to see, am I sowing the seeds that will bring that into manifestation? How am I being? There are some things we can't control, obviously, but we can control how we be. And that can go a long way toward determining how we do things. So back to those two questions. Am I nurturing the seeds of being present, being loving, being compassionate, being happy? Or am I feeding the seeds of being afraid, being greedy, being self-righteous? So personally, I want to have a strong intention to water the beneficial seeds. I also want to have a keen awareness to recognize when I am watering the unwholesome seeds. I know from my own experience that I cannot change anything if I'm not aware of it. And so I welcome awareness. I welcome the recognition that I'm watering unwholesome seeds. And that way, when I recognize it soon enough, I can stop watering those seeds. I can focus my attention on the wholesome things that are already present in my life and that I want to increase, that I want to manifest in abundance. So a few years ago, I was reading Thich Nhat Hanh's book, No Death, No Fear, and I was inspired to write a haiku that's called With Buddha in the Pure Land. Tai said, imagine that you can walk like a Buddha in paradise. And that's what kind of got me going. So this is what I called With Buddha in the Pure Land. Mindful walking with Buddha in the Pure Land, each step a blessing. Mindful breathing with Buddha in the Pure Land, each breath life-giving. Mindful eating with Buddha in the Pure Land, each taste a delight. Mindful sitting with Buddha in the Pure Land, I know peace and joy. Mindful singing with the Buddha in the Pure Land, harmony abounds. Mindful playing with Buddha in the Pure Land, happiness wells up. Mindful resting with Buddha in the Pure Land, present here and now. Mindfully present with Buddha in the Pure Land, free from birth and death. Our Awakening Heart Community of Mindful Living has a motto: experience the joy of mindful living. The intention for joy and the intention for mindful living nurture one another, and the doing that arises from that state of being is truly beautiful and powerful. So thank you for your strong intention to be a vibrant community that practices for the well-being of all life on earth. And thank you for your ongoing support of the Dallas Meditation Center. I know that we will continue to go as a river and be joyfully together. So just take a moment to look at the comments, and thank you for sharing. I noticed that Cornell posted the Zoom link to go to for sharing, And Catherine says, do we need a password? And Cornell says, at the moment it says no, but Zoom is doing upgrades today, so it could change at any moment. So we need our awareness for this. Um, then let's see. Cornell also said, watch closely here if we find out otherwise when we open the room. Catherine says, thanks. And Jennifer and Catherine liked my point. Thank you. So in a moment, we will switch to the Zoom platform, but we still have a few things we want to do together. Um, Last week, we tried singing together, and that really didn't work too well. We're going to figure it out because I see people singing and playing musical instruments together, so I know it's possible, but apparently we haven't figured it out yet. So there is a song I would like to sing to you, and I don't think you would know it because I don't believe I've ever taught it to you. But I was told that this is a favorite song of the monks in the monasteries, and it goes right along with what I talked about tonight about being present and about the Pure Land. So it goes like this. Here is the Pure Land is here, dwelling in the now, here and dwelling in the now. Solid as a mountain, free as a white cloud, the door to no birth and no death is open, clear and unshakable. I'll teach it to you next time we're together, or maybe the next time we do this like this, because you could sing for yourself. Um, so let's do our closing chant. We'll invite the bell. Countless beings we vow to free, ceaseless afflictions we vow to end, limitless truth doors we vow to open, the deepest paths of awakening we vow to realize. Amitabha. Thank you, dear friends. I look forward to seeing you in the Zoom room. Click on the link and we will go there together and share. So in a moment, I'm going to end this stream and join you in Zoom. So good evening, take care, be well, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.